This is Boats of the Thousand Islands, the show about every kind of watercraft on the Great St. Lawrence River. Your hosts are Robbie and Terry, both 15. Every week they break it down so you actually get it.
The show about every kind of watercraft on the Great St. Lawrence River. I'm Terry.
And I'm Robbie, and today we're talking about tour boats, the big floating classrooms that carry thousands of people through these gorgeous islands every summer.
Floating classrooms. I love that because honestly, you learn so much more about the river from the water than you ever could from shore.
Totally. And the Thousand Islands region has been drawing tourists by boat since the 1800s, which is kind of wild to think about.
Back then, it was wealthy families and steamships coming up from New York and Philadelphia to escape the city heat. The river was basically the Hamptons.
The original cottage country. Today, though, anyone can hop on a tour boat for a couple of hours and see castles, lighthouses, and about 1,000 islands.
To count as an island in this region, a piece of land has to be above water 365 days a year and support at least 2 living trees. About 1,800 islands, actually.
2 trees. That is a surprisingly specific rule. Someone really thought that through.
Someone with strong opinions about trees. So where do most of the tour boats actually launch from?
The big hubs are Gananoque on the Canadian side and Alexandria Bay on the American side. Both towns basically run on tourism from May through October.
Gananoque is such a great little town. You can walk off the boat and get a beaver tail and feel like you've done something cultural.
Deeply cultural. The tour boats themselves range from small covered pontoon-style boats all the way up to massive double-decker vessels that hold hundreds of passengers.
And they all follow these looping routes through the Narrows, squeezing between islands, pointing out famous properties like Bolt Castle.
For anyone who hasn't heard of it, a millionaire named George Bolt started building a full-on castle on Hart Island in the early 1900s as a gift for his wife. Oh man, Bolt Castle.
Then his wife died suddenly in 1904 and he just stopped construction, left it empty for decades.
73 years, actually. It sat abandoned until the Thousand Islands Bridge Authority took it over in 1977 and started restoring it.
That story gets told on basically every single tour boat that passes Hart Island, and honestly, it never gets old.
It's genuinely heartbreaking in the best kind of Gothic storybook way, and it's become one of the most visited landmarks on the entire river.
So the tour boats aren't just transportation, they're storytelling machines on water.
Exactly. The narrators on these boats, the guides, they know so much. Border history, geology, who owns which island, which house the hockey player bought.
Always a hockey player somewhere. Now, how many people are we actually talking about visiting the islands each year by boat?
The region pulls in well over 1 million visitors a year across both sides of the border, and a huge chunk of those people take at least one boat tour.
That is a lot of life jackets to keep track of.
The operators are very serious about safety, though. Transport Canada and the U.S. Coast Guard both regulate passenger vessels on the St. Lawrence really carefully.
Things like required safety briefings, certified crew, emergency equipment. It's not just hop on and hope for the best.
Right. And the boats themselves have to meet strict inspection standards. These aren't party barges, they're commercial vessels with real engineering behind them.
Speaking of engineering, some of these tour operators have been running the same family business for 3 or 4 generations. The boat knowledge just gets passed down.
There's something really cool about that. Your grandma rode a boat run by the same family whose grandkid is now driving tourists past the same islands.
The river as this continuous thread connecting people across time. Okay, I went poetic there, sorry.
No, that was actually good. Don't apologize for a good line.
Thank you, thank you. So what about night tours? I feel like seeing the islands lit up after dark is a whole different thing.
Some operators run sunset and evening cruises that are super popular for that golden hour light on the water. The castle looks completely different at dusk.
Everything looks more mysterious and a little spooky, which I am fully here for.
Totally on brand for a castle abandoned for 73 years. Now, one thing a lot of people don't realize is that some tour routes cross the international border mid-trip.
Which means your boat goes from Canada to the United States and back, sometimes in under an hour. You technically need your passport.
The border is literally drawn through the water. There's a line right down the middle of the river and the islands sit on both sides of it.
Which makes the Thousand Islands one of the only tourist destinations where you can say we popped over to another country for lunch.
And then came back. The border crossing by boat has its own procedures. Operators coordinate with customs and border services on both sides.
It's a reminder that the river isn't just scenery, it's an actual international boundary that real agencies take seriously.
One of the busiest freshwater borders in the world, actually, especially when you count all the commercial shipping traffic on top of the tour boats.
So, on any given summer afternoon, you've got massive cargo ships, tiny kayaks, tour boats full of tourists, and maybe a Coast Guard vessel all sharing the same water.
The river is basically a really busy highway that happens to be extraordinarily beautiful.
And the tour boats are the best way to see all of it without having to actually own a boat yourself.
Which, if you've ever priced out a marina slip for the summer, you understand the appeal of just buying a ticket.
Deeply relatable. Thanks for sailing through this one with us, everyone.
If you ever get the chance to hop on a tour boat in the Thousand Islands, do it. You'll see things from the water you can't see any other way. See you next week on Boats of the Thousand Islands.